so I will be portraying her throughout the house. First thing I want to tell you about are the trees here. These are called live oaks, and they will live to be about 1,000 years old. This one right here is over 600 years old, and that one out there is over 500 years old. Now let's walk this way. You know, Southern women don't sweat, we do it glisten.
What'd she say?
Southern women don't sweat, they glisten.
Now these big old pots we have here, these are called sugar cane kettles, and that's what we cook our sugar cane down in. Now these are kind of small because the ones that we would use weighed about 300 to 800 pounds.
That's why you see them everywhere. Those pots you were asking about.
Are you all going on a tour of the house? Okay. We actually have two houses here. We have the red house and the yellow house. The red house was built in 1770 by the city. Look at him looking at me. Y'all see that? 1770 by Latil and Conway. They came here and they purchased the land from the homeless Indians. They got over 300,000 acres, and they gave the poor little Indians $150 worth of goods. Shame on them. 1811, General Wade Hampton, my papa, came here, and he purchased the red house. Then he started building the yellow house. While it took from 1812 to 1829, 17 years to build this house. The walls are over 2 feet thick. What's inside the walls is brick. We brick our houses today. But the gray stuff in the trees out there is called Spanish moss. We'd shove that down in the walls and use that for the insulation of the home. Outside of the house is a ground up shell, like oyster shells, clam shells. Grind them up, make a paste with them. Paint them on the outside of the house and paint them on the columns. This is what our home is made out of. Faux finishing, it's nothing new. It's been around since the late 1700s. So this is what our house would have looked like when it was being finished, all right? So it's been restored inside and out to look as close as it possibly could when it was finished. Now we're going to walk around to the front of the house. Y'all all be so happy that we discovered air conditioning. Now, in 1927, we had 24 of those beautiful oak trees going all the way out to the Mississippi River there. In 1927, we had a huge flood. 1930 came, Corps of Engineers come put that green hill over there. We lost 16 of our beautiful trees. But we have to look at it this way. If we didn't have that levee over there, all this would be marshland today. So we got to be thankful for what we do have here. Now we're going to go on into the house. I'm truly convinced the reason we got big doors is because we got such big dresses. Y'all come on in. Welcome to the Sugar Palace. Now the first thing you might notice when you walk in here would be the air conditioner, right? Second thing you might notice is the beautiful murals we have on the walls. Well, the wealthy had murals. We're not sure what theirs would look like, so we decided to do sugarcane. We were the largest sugarcane plantation there was in the South. And our owner included his dogs, Princess Grace and Sam, and you're going to get to hear more about them as we go to the house. Now come on down here, we're going to talk about this big old map here. This map, it was done in 1847. There were 4 maps. 2 of them were in New Orleans in different museums. This one right here, and no one actually knows where the other one is. But this one was found in this house in 1987. They were putting air conditioners on the 3rd floor, cut a hole in the floor, and found the map. It'd been hidden under sawdust. But not just any old sawdust. Cypress sawdust. Cypress is a tree that grows here in South Louisiana, Grows in the water, grows near to the water. Cypress tree doesn't mold, doesn't mildew, doesn't rot, the termites hate it. That's why this map looks this good today. All the colorful marks you see here, different homes, different plantations. For you see, this is a census map. Had this got into the wrong hands during the Civil War, it would have wiped the state of Louisiana out completely. They'd have known exactly where everyone was, and that's why they hid it in the floorboard of the house. Now turn around and look at my blue china. 1829 Limoges china from France. There were over 600 pieces of this. Not a whole lot of the original pieces left today, but if you eat here, you'll be eating off the replicas of this. Now this is my mama and papa, General Wade Hampton china set here. And mama was very particular about the way people ate. Her favorite food was asparagus. She just couldn't stand somebody pick it up or jab it with their fingers, so she had her very own asparagus tongues made especially for us and our guests. Down here in that little blue box, that's actually for our lamb chops. Why you slide the little lamb chop bone through the hole, tighten it real tight on top, and you can hold the lamb chop with a pearl handle. That way you don't have to worry about getting your fingers all dirty. Yes, we are a little hoity-toity in this house. Y'all step on into my dining room. Well, it is my dining room about 8 to 12 hours a day. I'm going to stick my parasol up, I'll be right back. The last person comes in, close the doors for me, please. Now look at our beautiful chandelier we got here. 1700 Irish crystal chandelier. Now, notice it doesn't have electricity running to it. Well, because we didn't have electricity in 1700. And of course, we want to keep it looking like it does here. Now, the first thing you might notice when you walk in here would be the smell. While we use real fruits and real flowers, orchids throughout our house, dumped for the fragrance of the home here. Aerosol sprays would be very damaging around this table, so we certainly do not want to damage our table. Second thing you're going to notice is, gee, the people were small. Ma'am, we would be giants. An average woman would have been around 4'7", 4'8", gentlemen 5'6", 5'7". Now the scientists tell us the reason for this is we only ate pure and organic foods. Today, we got chemicals, steroids, preservatives, fertilizers, hormones, everything on our food. Notice each generation that passes us by, people are beginning to be larger and bigger people. But think back to your grandparents or your great-grandparents. More than likely, they were smaller than us. Now these things right here, why these are called fly catchers. Here in the South, we got to keep the windows open at all times. And the flies do want to come in and dine all over our food. Well, that's not very appetizing. So we put a little sugar water down here. Fly comes up, falls down, and drowns. While a Southern woman can't stand to see a fly drown. So we crochet dollies and put over, or we'll put napkins over. I say that one was for Louisiana flies. That one must have been for y'all's Texas flies. They say everything's bigger in Texas, right? Now, when you come to visit me, you're going to come for what we call a season. Season meaning 2-3 months at a time. When you arrive, I'm going to put a beautiful pineapple just like that on your nightstand. It's called a hospitality gift. Well, now, if you got your second pineapple, you've been here too long. It's time for you to go on home now. Gentlemen, y'all were the drinkers. Ladies, we didn't drink a drop, but we did other things, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Why, gentlemen, this would be for y'all's wine. Wine bottle stands straight up. The wine goes through the holes of the glass here. Release the button, the wine flows through the glass. Reason we use that? We didn't filter the alcohol. You certainly didn't want to have the muck and the debris in your glass. Now, when we get finished eating, gentlemen, y'all was running to the smoking room immediately. Ladies, we were going to the ladies' parlor. But gentlemen, I am a fine Southern woman. I shall invite all 4 of you into the parlor with us ladies. Let's go. Welcome to the Milady's parlor.
What do you think?
It's talking. Now this piano we have here is a 1901 baby grand Steinway from Hamburg, Germany. 200 of them were made, 22 came to the United States, And that's one right there. Now us ladies of the house, while we were playing the piano, we were playing the harp, we were singing, we were needlepoint, and this is the type of things that we were doing. While you gentlemen were across the hall being very foolish, smoking, drinking, cursing, spitting, and talking politics. Lord forbid, things y'all never did in front of us girls. Now remember I told you General Wade Hampton is the one that built the house here, my papa. Well, he built it and then he passed away. But he left it to me, Caroline Hampton Preston, and my husband, John Smith Preston. I do think I aged pretty well, for I'm about 200 years old now, all right? Now, he left it to us, and we moved from South Carolina to take over this property. We had 6 children here. Sadly, our little one, May, contracted yellow fever. She passed away. Well, we were very distraught, as any family would be. We sold our home to John Burnside, the second owner, and we moved back to South Carolina to live our lives out. And that's when John Burnside, like I said, bought the house here and we moved back. Now, a lot of people want to know about our furniture. Some of it is original, some of it is not. But as we go through the house, I'll be pointing some of the original pieces out to you all. But this little girl right here, well, she doesn't have anything to do with the house, but she is one of Mr. Kevin's fine furnishings. Her name is Julie Monet. She's Edward Monet's niece. And that clock, well, that clock doesn't even work. Well, we don't care, because it was Marie Antoinette's. And then it was Napoleon's. And then it was Napoleon's brothers. John Burnside, the second owner. And now it's Mr. Kevin Kelly's. If we got that clock fixed, it would lose its value. So we leave it as it sits. After all, it does tell the correct time twice a day, right? Turn around and look at the tapestries. 1832, done by the Ursuline nuns out of New Orleans. They are called Turkish rugwork tapestries. Ladies, it would take over 2 years to complete one of these. Well, the nuns were ordered to do this so they could learn patience. Yes, ladies, I did say patience. Now, a proper young woman would have never crossed that hall, for that's the gentleman's smoking room over there. And if you went over there, you was considered as one of those kind of girls. So you didn't dare go unless the house was burning or someone was dying. So, gentlemen, we must ask you all, may we please attend the smoking room? Gentlemen, may we please attend the smoking room?
Sure. Yes, sir.
I'm fixing to say, the ladies are going to go, excuse me, honey, but we all go and see that smoking room before we leave this house. Let's go across the house. I call this the early man cave. Now, come on over here. Man first.
Go ahead.
And it is a beautiful
We'll wander in the back. Are they shut?
You would, darling, thank you. Now this room looks different. We've got dark walls, leather furniture, no curtains, because this is the gentleman's smoking room. In fact, gentlemen, right here is the middle 1800s humidor. This is where you all would keep your fine cigars. And that clock, well, that clock arrived from Paris in 1853. It went to a house in New Orleans. Mr. Kevin purchased it out of a house in New Orleans. He wanted to bring it here. Why, look, it took a whole hazmat team, special papers, and escorts to bring it. It's got liquid mercury right down in the pendulum. Had that been spilled out on the interstate, well, it would have been extremely hazardous to everyone's health. Now, the slate pictures we have here were done by a gentleman named William Walker, who did magnificent slate pictures back then. All the other paintings in here were done at the Sophie Nickel Woman College out of New Orleans. They were very